Let us discuss the tragedy of Shakespeare. And tomorrow we will have the comedy of Shakespeare in our discussion board. So, to introduce the tragedy of Shakespeare, we need to remember something that he is one of the greatest dramatists in the English language and renowned for his profound exploration of human nature, particularly in his tragic plays. His tragedy typically revolves around a high-born protagonist who is led to downfall through a combination of personal flaws such as ambition, jealousy, or indecision. Then also fate and external pressures lead the characters fall down. These plays delve deeply into the moral struggles and psychological complexities of their characters, and it leads to the end in death and despair. Then, if we want to discuss the major themes of Shakespearean plays that we are most often just marking or remarking that Hamlet, then Macbeth, then Othello and King Lear are his the most important four tragedies ever written by Shakespeare. And in each, the tragic hero possesses a fatal flaw. For example, Hamlet's indecision, then Macbeth's ambition, Othello's jealousy, and also Lear's blindness to truth are the fatal flaws that the characters possess, and these contribute to his eventual destruction. However, his tragedy is not just about suffering, it also offers insights into justice, fate, and consequences of human choices, and the fragile nature of life. Shakespeare's tragic vision is marked by his universal appeal and emotional depth, his ability to capture the turmoil of the human soul. Then, if we want to discuss the four major plays of Hamlet and Macbeth, Othello, and King Lear, we need to say that Hamlet represents revenge. For example, it tells the story of Prince Hamlet of Denmark, who seeks revenge against his uncle Claudius for murdering his father and taking the throne. The play explores deep philosophical questions about life, death, and the nature of existence. So, how many questions we will get answers in Hamlet? Three questions. Questions about life, questions about death, and the riddles about the nature of existence. And Hamlet's indecisiveness and his introspection. Introspection means deep thinking, ultimately lead to a tragic chain of events ending in the death of most major characters in this drama. Then Macbeth. Macbeth and also Queen Macbeth were destroyed due to their overindulgence to ambition. Macbeth, the Scottish general, driven by a prophecy and spurred on by his wife, that Macbeth will be king. Whether there was the King Duncan existing. So Macbeth, in associated association with his wife, killed Duncan to seize the throne, and his unchecked ambition leads to paranoia, tyranny, and his eventual downfall. The play is a powerful exploration of how guilt and ambition can destroy a person's soul and unravel the natural order. Then, about Othello, that tells the stories of jealousy and how sexual jealousy leads to death. Othello, a Moorish soldier general, centers on this general in the Venetian army, who is manipulated by his envious subordinate. The name of this envious subordinate was Iago. Through lies and deception, Iago fuels Othello's jealousy, causing him to murder his innocent wife Desdemona. The play is a tragic examination of how trust can be weaponized and how jealousy can blind a man to the truth. Then, about King Lear, we want to add here that King Lear was blind to the fault and truth of life. It follows the aging King Lear, who foolishly divides his kingdom between his flattering daughters. The name of these flattering two daughters are Goneril and Regan, and also he disowned his honest daughter Cordelia. So once betrayed and cast out by these flattering daughters, Lear descends into madness. The play reflects on the vulnerability of old age, the dangers of pride, and devastating consequences of misjudging love and loyalty. Then, in conclusions, we need to add here that these four tragedies, Hamlet, Macbeth, Othello, and King Lear, are considered masterpieces not only for their powerful plots and characters, but also for their psychological depth and timeless relevance. So it means that the Shakespearean tragedy have powerful plots and characters, but why Shakespeare is remembered today? Due to his psychological depth and timeless relevance. That means the Shakespearean heroes, their flaws, their faults, their psychological burden and problem is even today relevant. How Othello becomes a prey to jealousy, it also happens nowadays. Why King Lear became mad? It also happens nowadays. Why Macbeth fell down? The ambition. And also, we are often observing this scenario in our society even today. That's why we call William Shakespeare as the greatest of all time.